We'll call the May Delaware County Regional Wastewater Meeting to order. Penny, if you want to go ahead and call the roll, please.
Ray.
Yes.
Pete.
Present.
Joe.
Present.
Bill.
Here.
That's the prize. Look.
Brenda. I'm here. Ron.
Here. Let me hang on that one a minute. Okay. First order of business, minutes. Everybody had a chance to review them. If so, I would entertain a motion.
I'll move the motion. We accept them as written.
Have them first. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I've got a second. Is there any changes or additions that need to be added? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Oppose? Minutes carried. Approved. Treasurer.
Claims from April 1, 2023 through April 30, 2023 totaling $249,765.08. Account balances as of May 4th, 2023. 20,000. Anyways, cash operating balance, $420,000. Improvement fund balance, $2,439,563.49. And we did receive the funds from the Daleville TIF of $9,411.00. I would move to approve the claims in the amount of $249,765.08.
I have a first and a second. Is there any question or discussions? All in favor say aye. Aye. Oppose? Approved. All right.
Before we get to business, I know I've been gone for a couple months, but are we still doing the TV thing?
It is being done, and he is in the back room. They have a special room. He gave me the
Smile.
thumbs up, and it is being recorded, sir. So we are on. Okay, I'm going to make a little bit of adjustment. Jennifer, if you would, you have a rate study to propose to us. I'd like you to go ahead.
I am Jennifer Wilson with Crow. I submitted to you an engagement letter to do a rate study. It's been, I think, a little bit over 3 years since we last looked at your rates when we did the 2020 SRF loan. So it's good to take a look at your rates every so often just to make sure that you're keeping up with all your operating expenses as they change over the years.
Did everybody get a chance to review that? If so, I would entertain a motion at this time.
I'd move to approve.
I'll second.
I have a first and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Oppose? Motion approved. Thank you, Jennifer. Okay, moving on to new business. Structured Solutions quote for manhole rehab.
During one of the high weather events, as always, we always try to go out and pop manholes the next couple of days while that groundwater's still set. And we found a couple of manholes that need addressed, and it ends up being 5 of them that we're gonna get all new inside cement and epoxy done in. And this bid to complete that work was out of my off my a little bit higher than my limit, so I needed board approval to get that done. Structured Solutions is a company that we used just recently out in the Westbrook area for the 500 job, and also we've used them in the Wharton area probably 3 or 4 different times. Very comfortable with them doing the work, and board seats bid. I'd like to go ahead and get that approved and get them going on this work as well.
I would entertain a motion. I have a first. Do I have a second? Second. I have a first and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Oppose? Motion approved. Overlook designation of intent letter.
That letter was sent out in the packets, I believe, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
So, I would like, there's a gap up at the top because I think it's best to come out on district letterhead. So I'm going to put that in. Penny's gonna get me, the letterhead so that I can insert that there. If anyone had any issues with the way this is worded, I can make those changes. Otherwise, if all looks okay, then I think we're ready to go ahead and input the names and addresses and get these sent out.
You want an approval from the board on it, or you just want comment?
I don't know, you guys told me to do it already, so I think it's just comment
Okay.
at this point. And Rob, actually, if you want to grab this, I don't know that well, you got the board packet, didn't you? Oh, never mind, just kidding. I thought maybe you'd get this part. That makes sense that you didn't.
Does anybody have any comments?
Take a look and
Everybody
tell
got a
me
chance
if
to
you
take a
want
look at it, other than
Changed
Rob?
in that.
Did
It
you-
looked good.
I didn't have any changes. Okay, we'll let that, and Rob, you get done. If you have any changes, please let us know. All right, waiver letter.
Go ahead, Daniel. You want me?
The Brote.
Yeah.
Is it
Brote,
Brote?
yeah,
Is that
Brote.
it? I prepared a letter and I did have Bill take a peek at it. I dated it for today just to make sure it was in line with what the board was thinking. And I think Bill thought it was.
Exactly the way we had discussed earlier.
Okay, so that letter is actually ready to go out to say that they are going to have to comply with the health department, get that waiver in order for us to grant the waiver for them to not hook in at Overlook. So I'll get that sent out as soon as I get back to the office today. And if anyone wants to review this before I leave, I can pass it around or.
I was gonna say, does everybody remember what we're going through? I mean, this is out of our hands. It has to, the Board of Health has to okay that before we can issue a waiver. So unless they comply with IC code, we're not even involved at this point.
Is there a timeline on that?
On how long they have.
It's-
They have 120 days from when they notified the district that they would not connect, which was April 5th. So I put in here that by August 3rd, they have to have it done and the information submitted to the health department and then that waiver submitted to us.
All right, moving on. Jason, Executive Director's report.
Right now in delinquent accounts, as of yesterday, as of the Monday, actually, we were sitting at $562.97 over the entire collection area. If we had penalties and, we actually, this has been updated since, and did it again this week, kind of felt weird with us changing the board meeting. So that, it'll come back to a number we're more familiar with. It seems a little low, but that's not the notices yet, just because of the way. But still, everything's working out real well. We had one property disconnected, it was reconnected after payment. Also, let the board know that currently State Board of Accounts is in the office and we're doing our normal 2-year audit, working through that. And
I did-
before that gets all done.
I didn't get that paper.
they
done
actually
yet.
said, just normal conversation, that he believes that will be done at the end of next week. Then he'll be extending a exit interview to the entire board. So you guys probably see that come. Some of you did, I'm guessing you're talking about Joe. Some of you
I
may have
haven't
got
completed it yet,
yeah.
yes.
So he hasn't said anything to it about it.
I completed mine.
Couple
Yep.
fraud questionnaires. But if he ends up saying he needs that from you guys, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Other than that, we really haven't done anything on the Westbrook job. We still got a couple ARVs that we need to purchase. No disbursement request for that. Did a lot of just normal stuff with everything going on with MSD. And a lot of rain the last couple months here. We had almost 3 inches this month. The month prior, we're just short of 7. So guys have been busy. Been really hard at it here recently. A lot of credit to them. And we're seeing our fair share of them in the office too. So that's just normal stuff. I don't have anything else to report.
So is Yorktown holding up pretty good?
Yeah.
Oh, that project, we go by there a lot. There's never been,
Yeah.
since that's completed, they did a great job.
During that one, we did have a reported overflow. We were completely underwater. I mean, and when you get 3.5, 4 inches of
Yeah.
water,
Yeah.
there's nothing you're gonna do. But
Exactly.
to be completely honest, there was times I would sweat half an inch, 3/4 of an inch, and we're not that anymore. So it's been fantastic having that extra capacity, and that system's really tightened up and continued to, I mean, these manholes that we're gonna do over here is in a different area than the flow study had showed, but that's also in the Westbrook area, the ones that Structural Solutions will be hitting, so we're constantly just trying to better that area for sure.
What about in the Glen where you had some people that wasn't paying a bill? Did you find any more?
You know what,
They've not
Danielle
called.
sent them out letters, we've actually, out of the 3 customers, I think 2 of them already paid their bills, so, yeah.
Any other questions?
Good job on collections.
Yes, very good.
Awesome.
All right. Danielle, it'd be your turn.
All right, just as an update on Overlook, the deeds are all prepared. I'm sorry, the easements are all prepared. I pulled deeds on all of these parcels. 2 of the deeds are gonna have to be the easements are gonna have to be updated because the deeds now have new owners here just within the last few weeks. So I'm gonna switch those out as soon as I get a chance today or tomorrow. I'll get these off to Rob and all of those easements are gonna be ready to go.
Have we only heard from the one property owner that doesn't want it?
There's 2. Newsom doesn't want it in this one. Newsom is, but under complete understanding that if he doesn't take it, this is a one-time shot from us paying. If he does and he has to go, then he has complete expense on his end
It's on
to
him.
hook up at a later date.
Okay.
He met the Newsom met the exemption requirements.
Yes.
Okay.
For a large parcel, and he was 340 foot from property line to where.
Okay.
Then, but there's one that.
Yeah,
The one we're
So
sending the letter
we're
to.
not even, we just want her to get a full inspection.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. I just was wondering if,
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yes, sir.
How do you want to handle that? I'm more comfortable going out and getting them. If you guys are both comfortable with the way everything, I'm go out there and acquire them.
It doesn't matter to me, I'm just asking.
Yeah, somebody's gotta get 'em.
Yep.
No, I'll provide Thomas, and he can go out there.
With the 3 of us, as much as we're out there and only being that few phones, we could go get them for you.
Okay. I'm good with that. Okay. Go ahead.
Also on Overlook, there was a question Jason had regarding, I don't remember if it was actually just a right-of-way document or what it was that they had. We did an evaluation. I looked into what one of those homeowners had allowed them to grant us a permanent easement to come in there. It did not, so we're going to have to get approval from AEP and the landowners to go over, are there 3 parcels that touched?
So it kind of goes back to the Newsom property. There was if you look at the way everything's been recorded, it kind of appears that there's 3 properties are all landlocked before you hit his larger parcel. That's but that his right of way that he uses for access is a easement that is a utility easement that has been gifted to him and it's AEP originally. So before you get to his large parcel, there is a property, just a little bit over an acre. He was wanting to know, what it would take to get a service line there, not necessarily, infrastructure, not the pump, the pit, or anything like that, but what it would take to get a service line there. Well, after we did Danielle and Stephanie did the legwork, that it would require both him and AEP sign this, granting us that right of way and easement. So right now, I told them until then, we're just gonna stub out a location at the end of Overlook where the road ends, and if they can get to us before design's finished and construction would begin, or until Rob's last minute of being able to throw it in there, we're just gonna end it at right at Overlook. But AEP called me this past week along with his wife, and they're trying to work on it, but back from AEP didn't seem too confident that anything was gonna happen quickly, so, or that it would even happen, so.
don't you know anything from AEP?
Yeah, I don't necessarily think they were in the, one of the agreements, additional access on their easement already that was there, and another part of that is, it's for a parcel that doesn't even have a home on it right now. So, that's kind of where we're at. We told them we would do it if the timing was right, just because we would be in there doing it. That if not, we left it kind of in their court to acquire everything. So it is the same nuisance, just a property short of them that they own as well.
We had brought up the overpayment that we made to Chesterfield several months ago. I should have brought this up while Jennifer was here. She had reached out to Andre Riley. I don't think he had responded to her. I had her reach back out to him and he did respond this, I think about a week ago. She updated the calculation of the overpayment on the Chesterfield side. We're just asking for them to credit that amount. He said he would get with Chesterfield and then get a response to her as quick as he could. So hopefully that ball's moving now and something's done. I still think it was less than $1,000. I want to say like maybe $800, $900, something like that. So she's working on that for us. Jason mentioned I did go ahead and send out the letters to the 3 houses that were not hooked in that he found. And like you said, 2 of them have already started their payments, so that's great. We had a property where we were dealing with, the money was not paid. We have it capped off. Smoot bought the property. I think we brought that up last month. The mortgage company did not pay us, so Jason and the office have notified Smoot that they will have to pay that to get uncapped, and then they can deal with the title company or with the mortgage company and go that route. But I think they're agreeable to that, so they can get probably a renter in there or whatever. So that'll be taken care of.
Go ahead.
Oakville.
Yeah.
So, and this actually may be better for Jason to address too, but we had been talking about the potential to take Oakville to the north. That sounds like that project is now not going to happen at all. I am gonna let you talk about the conversations with John and not connecting into Cowan and kind of their reasons why, since I wasn't the one directly having those.
We
Talks
we
with-
approached them after kind of the, some of the conversations that the mini group had and told them that we were interested in taking the Oakville flow back to the north through Cowan. They have a large lift station over there. Me and Rob set it on a Teams call. Rob set up with their some of their engineers that had done that project, the school extension and everything. Where they were kind of at was that lift station at the school is extremely large and it's oversized. Unfortunately, the discharge pipe that's coming out of the lift station towards 67 down Cowan Road, that's heading to Fusion Road, is 4-inch and 6-inch. That way, it's 4-inch out of the school, 6-inch at a middle lift station. And based on the taps that have already been given to the Cowan residents, whether they were hooked in or not, MSD isn't comfortable granting us the ability to flow into that lift station. Just because they have already told these residents, whether you guys choose to do it from here now or in the future, that we want these taps to be for you guys. They were only at about 30% capacity of the entire system, but they still felt they didn't want to give it up. And that was going to be an ARP funded project, but they were very interested in talking to us about taking, if we were able to take some of those revenue, some of those funds from the ARP relief and look at a addition over off No Name Creek, just back to the south of Tomlinson Cemetery off of Hoyt. So Rob did some work on that, looking to see if it was viable or not and what it would take to connect those, kind of the same system, grinder pits. I think when we originally looked at it, it was 147 homes where
36, I think.
136 homes where Oakville is going to be short of 70 from the beginning, and so almost double the homes. It was going to be a grinder system, and MSD realized that was outside of their kind of their 4-mile expansion area, that they were willing to grant us a tap over off of I think it's Berkshire Edition, and give us a connection there. So moving forward, Bill, myself, and Danielle, and are going to try to talk to the commissioners about that's going to be, if they want to look at that as a viable project for the district and funds. That in the past, the health department reached out to us on that area, and just with no infrastructure over there, and the continuing conversations we had with MSD and a contract, we didn't know if that was going to be an option or not. So the health department's contacted both MSD and us on this. Currently, there's nobody that's on pump and haul over there, but they have had a number of community neighbor complaints. I've reached out to the customers. Reached out to the health department, notified them of issues in that area. So we're going to continue forward to see if what it would take to get that connected. I think when Rob originally kind of ran the numbers to, it's going to be a more substantial cost, was it 6.5?
They're a little over that if everybody wanted to connect and did it all at once.
That even with that 3.4 million, that's the commissioners have originally granted us for Oakville. If we can get them to work with us, we could possibly do all the infrastructure and limited connections with the funds that are there. So it might be a situation of testing to see who needs it and what the necessity is for that area, and maybe we can make something happen over there. But just there's just not capacity inside that Cowan area coming from the school to the Fusion Road discharge to take Oakville. And we've had the conversations of which going in a positive direction, going to the south to Henry County, and that kind of fell on its face at the last minute, and that's the discretion of the Summit Springs wastewater board. So right now, we're kind of doing everything we could to get those going, and it doesn't seem like the Oakville's necessarily would happen with those funds.
Yes, sir.
On that Cowan, Jason mentioned that lift station was big enough. MSD, when we had our discussions with them, said if you want to build your own force main, then I consider the problem is by the time you got from Oakville up to the school, and then you had however many more miles of pipe north of that, it gravity sewer connection point, at that point becomes cost prohibitive. It costs more than what this other area off of Hoyt that Jason used.
Yeah, if we were to run even just right in line with their current force main coming from the school towards Fusion Road, it's just, there was that project so far out of reach that it doesn't make sense.
Smith.
If you have any questions on the report that I sent, please let me know. A couple things that were just different last month, and I think I want to point those out, is the meeting change. So, we promote that it's the first Wednesday of every month, the meeting change. So we were able to send out an email to everybody. We added that to the website. We were able to change social media graphics. So anytime there's something that is going on that is a change, we're able to get that out immediately for you. It was also brought to the attention that on the invoice cloud page, some of the billing details weren't there. We don't update the invoice cloud, but you do have a billing page on your website that explains some of the billing. So we were able to add a link so that you have so that all of the billing information, all of the fine print is on your billing page and people can find it on Invoice Cloud. So those are some of the updates that we did last month that are a little different than some of the normal updates that we do. But I want to bring to your attention because anytime there's something that we need to add to the website, whether it's fine print, whether it's a meeting change, some construction going on, anything, we're able to get that out. So if you have any questions on the social media or emails or analytics, I'm happy to answer any of those questions. And we're meeting with Jason tomorrow at 9:30 to do a video.
Also PR side of it, we had a station, we had continuous racks clogging up. I actually didn't do it, but, me and Penny spent a little part of the morning sending out, I think it was like, over 130 letters of, it's just residents in that area that hit that lift station, telling them what they can and can't up in there. So hopefully, since then, granted, it's only been a week, but I haven't had any clogged pumps or anything, so. That as well.
Good deal. That it?
Yeah, any questions or anything?
Do I got any questions, concerns?
I got a question.
Shoot.
With all this banking things going on, that 420 and that 2.4 million, is that all in one bank?
You can sit down.
Okay.
Oh, what?
I will direct that question to Jason. and
I mean, you know, I'm not trying to change anything.
No, I'm just- I-
asking that question.
It's a
Because you
good
don't know.
question, too.
Yes.
All in one account.
Yeah, but,
On the books, it's two accounts,
But-
on the bank, it's one account.
Yeah,
but.
that's my question.
But for public funds, they have to buy more. The State Board of Account requires that the banks actually insure it for the amount that we have because they're public funds versus
Okay.
that. So all
Curious.
public entities, once you have money in an account and it's designated as a public fund, they have to buy more. And so the State Board of Accounts, who's now in doing our audit, should be checking that and running that to make sure that there's enough security for all of our funds that are in that bank. That is a report that the bank should be providing to
Okay.
us and to them.
I just
Great
curious.
question, but
I mean,
I have no
and-
idea.
and to Rob's point, most people think about the FDIC only doing up to
yeah.
50, but because of their public funds, it's a different requirement.
Okay.
Another question was, which bank are we with? Old National. There you go. Okay. Moving on from there, committee reports, all we had was, the, negotiation on the MSD contract, committee. Ray or Joe, do you guys have anything? Jason? I don't either. You? If you've got something to say, you can say it.
Oh, I mean, I think things are progressing and moving in the right direction.
Agreed. Hopefully we'll see the,
That's
see
the way
the
I see it,
result.
too, yes.
We'll see the result. Okay. Rob?
I think a copy of our status report got in your packets. I can run through it, or if you guys have had a chance to look at it. We've touched on most of the items that I had touched on. That County Road 600 Westbrook project's essentially closed out. We're in the warranty period now.
Did we leave any money on the table there? I know we were going through, we did the upgrades with what we had of the bond money.
Jason mentioned it. We had like $2,000 or $3,000 left. We're gonna buy a couple of air release valves.
Okay.
So we effectively got our money's worth.
Gotcha.
Oakville, we talked about. Overlook, we talked about. Once we have easements in hand and this thing signed, we're ready to go to bid. We got our permits. Danielle, I did glance through this while you guys were conducting other business. The only thing that I thought on this letter was where you're talking about the easement there on page 2. If it's worthwhile to just tell them that if we get in your yard as we're working, we will put it back to the way it was. And that is a contractual requirement, but they'll ask. I guarantee you they'll ask, but might as well let them know if we tear it up, we'll fix it.
Gotcha. Question, Rob Robertson, when's it go to bid?
Jason called me about that earlier. I think we can get it out on the street advertised within the next week or by the end of next week at the latest. We have our permits. I did my final internal review, had some minor CAD edits that needed to be made. I called my CAD manager when I was driving over here. He said he thought it was done, but he would double check and get back to me. He hasn't texted me back yet. So that's really all I was waiting on to tell Jason, let's pull the trigger and go. And that happened to be the last item I had on here. So
Excuse me.
you guys
Okay.
got any questions? That's all I have.
Yeah, I wonder, we're gonna do our rate study.
Yes, sir.
I think, is there value in putting together a 3 to 5 year capital improvement plan that goes along with it? So that we're not shocked, we can start budgeting everything. And so the reason I ask while Rob's up there is if he can put some ballpark prices to any projects that maybe we know are out, whether that's relining things or that's doing some extensions or whatever else, vehicles that need replaced, you know, buildings, et cetera, that we may just be thinking about. And I suppose just thinking out loud, if Jennifer's gonna be doing a rate study and we're gonna be talking about, let's hope we're not talking about rate increases, you know, or rate, but we have bonds that are maybe falling off, so maybe there's rate decreases. We need to be thinking about what's coming so that we're
As
not
far as improvement over the next 3 to 5 years.
over the next 3 to 5 years.
I
And
wouldn't
so-
see that considering they're, I mean, they're the advisors to to our district that
Right.
we need to know, she needs to know what those 3 to 5 year commitments are that we're looking at so we can take that in the overall rate study.
Yeah, and I think it's probably good for the three of them to sit down because she can also tell us, you know, what she sees on the horizon for financing. I mean, Rob obviously has got that as in some of that, but I think the three of them. So I guess I'm just thinking, you know, we should have something out so that we just kind of have an idea. And as she's starting to work her rate
The
study.
board's already approved the rate study, so Jason, I would ask you to engage with Rob, with Commonwealth, with Jennifer, and look at the next 3 to 5 year improvements and have that as part of the rate study she's going through, so she can give us some actual good numbers to it.
Well, and don't forget, as a part of that Westbrook project, because it was funded by SRF, we had to do an asset management plan.
Correct.
Right.
So there will be some information in there already that we need to revisit.
Yeah.
And see if it's consistent with Jason's vision or if we want to build on that. But there'll be stuff in there as well that's already been put together.
Anything else, Rob? Okay, thank you. All right, we've come to the end, so before that, is there any other board member that has any business before us today? And seeing the public is still the same that was publicly speaking, I would ask, there's probably nothing there, so I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
I have a first and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? We are adjourned.